Have you ever paused to think about how many healthy years you might still have ahead? Not in a vague or dramatic sense, but based on how your body is functioning right now? Your body actually gives subtle signals about its strength or struggles, though most people don't notice these signs until it's too late. That's unfortunate because recognizing these early hints can be the difference between a few more slow, difficult years and many more full of energy and vitality. In this video, we'll explore 7 clear indicators that offer genuine insight into your potential for healthy living in the years to come. These aren't minor symptoms to brush off. They're important clues that doctors and scientists study to evaluate longevity and resilience, especially in those over 60. From your walking style to your recovery speed after illness, these signs tell a story your body has been sharing all along. Even if you recognize one or more of these signs in yourself, don't worry. Most can be improved through the right lifestyle changes. Whether you're curious about your own well-being or supporting a loved one, stick with us through the video. The 7th sign in particular is often ignored but could reveal the most about the quality time you have left. Let's get started. Sign 1. Persistent fatigue that doesn't go away with rest. Feeling tired after a busy day or a restless night is normal. But when that tiredness lingers, no matter how much you sleep or rest, it's a different story altogether. If you find yourself waking up drained, sluggish, or heavy, even after a full night's sleep, this kind of ongoing exhaustion could be a serious sign from your body. It's not simply a part of aging. Your body might be quietly signaling that it's struggling to keep pace. This long-lasting fatigue often points to deeper health concerns such as low-grade inflammation, hormonal imbalances, heart strain, or early issues with vital organs. What makes this tricky is that the tiredness isn't always dramatic or sudden. It might just manifest as feeling slower than usual, needing extra naps, or experiencing mental fog that wasn't there before. But over time, these subtle changes accumulate. Your body relies on energy, not just the feeling of energy, but the cellular energy produced by mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside your cells. When these mitochondria slow down due to aging, poor diet, or chronic stress, your whole system suffers, including your heart, brain, and immune system. For example, consider Harold, a 75-year-old man I once met. He used to enjoy short morning walks every day, but one year he stopped, not because of pain, but because he felt too drained. He assumed it was just part of getting older. However, blood tests later revealed he had borderline anemia and low thyroid function. After adjusting his diet and medications, his energy improved significantly. He wasn't lazy, his body was asking for help. The key takeaway is, if your tiredness is persistent, don't ignore it. Especially if it remains even after rest or a calm day, it could mean something important is going on beneath the surface. While fatigue itself isn't a diagnosis, it's often one of the first warning signs that your body's vital systems are slowing down. Furthermore, research shows that people in their 60s or 70s who suffer from relentless fatigue have a higher chance of developing heart problems, memory issues, and mobility decline over the next 5 to 10 years. Fatigue doesn't cause these conditions directly, but it may be an early indicator. If this sounds familiar, take it seriously. Talk with your doctor, get blood work done, and review your lifestyle habits: hydration, exercise, nutrition, and stress management. Even small improvements in these areas can help restore your energy and slow down the aging process. You deserve to feel truly alive, not just awake. Sign 2. Unexplained weight loss, particularly muscle loss. Many people assume that losing weight is always positive, especially in a society that glorifies thinness. However, for older adults who aren't actively trying to shed pounds, unexplained weight loss can be a subtle but important warning sign. When that loss includes muscle, it might indicate a deeper health issue than most realize. As we grow older, some muscle loss is natural, but when it happens rapidly or without changes in diet or activity levels, it may reflect problems in how the body processes nutrients, controls inflammation, or heals itself. Muscle isn't just about strength. It plays a critical role in metabolism, immune function, and even the proper operation of internal organs. At first, you might not notice much, A pair of pants feels looser, your belt needs an extra notch, or you catch a reflection and think, I look thinner. But if this loss includes lean muscle tissue, your arms start to look smaller, your legs feel weaker, or your posture begins to sag, these are signs you shouldn't ignore. Take Frank, a 78-year-old retired teacher who valued staying slim and eating light. Over a year, he lost 18 pounds without changing anything in his lifestyle. He didn't feel ill, but found it increasingly difficult to rise from the couch or carry groceries, and his balance seemed off. Medical scans showed a significant decrease in muscle density, combined with vitamin D deficiency and low protein intake. After modifying his diet and beginning resistance exercises with light bands, he regained strength, energy, and stability. This type of muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is one of the strongest predictors of frailty, falls, and hospital admissions in older adults. If ignored, it can drastically reduce the number of healthy years ahead. What makes sarcopenia particularly dangerous is how it creeps up quietly. There's usually no pain, just a slow shrinking of the body's muscle mass. Research links lower muscle mass and strength in seniors to higher mortality rates, not because muscle itself causes death, but because losing muscle signals a body that struggles to recover, resist infection, and handle stress. In other words, muscle loss reflects declining overall resilience. So what can you do about it? First, don't dismiss unintentional weight loss as just eating healthier. If you're losing weight without trying, talk to your doctor. Second, make protein a priority at every meal to support muscle maintenance. Third, incorporate exercises that build muscle, not just burn calories. Even gentle resistance training, done regularly, tells your body it still needs strength. While losing extra fat can add years to your life, unintentionally losing muscle may silently shorten them. If you're finding this information useful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting the bell to stay updated on future videos. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's continue on to the next sign. Sign 3, slower walking speed and weakened gait strength. How quickly you walk might seem like a minor detail, something you rarely pay attention to, but research consistently shows that walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of overall health and longevity, especially in older adults. It's even been called the 6th vital sign because of how telling it can be. When your natural walking pace slows down, it may be an early signal of changes happening in your body and what the future holds. This doesn't mean you need to sprint or set personal bests. What matters is your usual, comfortable walking speed, the pace you move at naturally without forcing yourself, whether you're crossing a room or walking down the sidewalk. If you've noticed yourself slowing down, shuffling your feet, hesitating before climbing stairs, or needing to pause more often, these might be quiet warnings from your body. Walking isn't just about leg strength. It's a complex activity that requires seamless coordination between your brain, muscles, joints, and balance systems. If any one of these components starts to weaken, whether due to cognitive decline, stiff joints, heart strain, or even decreased confidence, your gait will reflect that. Slower walking speeds have been linked in studies to increased risks of mortality, heart disease, cognitive issues, and hospital stays. Take Walter, an 82-year-old man who valued his independence. His daughter noticed that during their walks, he was lagging behind and his steps were more tentative. During a medical checkup, his doctor found early signs of neuropathy and a small drop in oxygen levels when he moved. Problems Walter hadn't directly noticed, but his slower walking speed had revealed them. With a tailored walking program and medication adjustments, Walter regained both strength and confidence. One reason walking speed is such a vital indicator is that it reflects how well your body functions as an integrated system. Slowing down usually isn't caused by just one factor. It often involves a mix of balance issues, vision challenges, circulation problems, muscle weakness, and even slower mental processing. That's why healthcare providers frequently use simple time walking tests to assess health risks in people over 65. These changes often develop gradually. You might still be able to get around and handle errands, but instead of moving easily through a store, you might find yourself needing a rest midway. Rather than walking quickly to your mailbox, you may take longer and avoid tricky surfaces like uneven sidewalks. This isn't just about convenience, it's about your resilience. People who maintain stronger, faster walking abilities tend to live longer because their bodies are better prepared to cope with everyday challenges like sudden illness or injury recovery. If you notice your walking pace has slowed, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Start paying attention to your walking habits. Track your steps, timing, and how comfortable you feel. Consult with your doctor or a physical therapist to figure out what might be affecting your gait. Most importantly, keep moving. Even a short, intentional daily walk can send a powerful message to your brain and body that you're still strong, capable, and actively moving forward, because you are. Sign 4. Frequent infections and a weakened immune system. Occasionally getting sick is a normal part of life. However, if you find yourself catching nearly every cold, noticing that small wounds take longer to heal, or requiring antibiotics more often than before, it could mean your immune system is quietly weakening. This decline has a direct impact on how many healthy, strong years you have ahead. Your immune system acts as your body's defense mechanism. When you're younger, it works quickly and efficiently, protecting you from infections and helping you recover swiftly. But as you age, this defense system naturally deteriorates in a process called immunosenescence. This decline explains why older adults are more susceptible to infections, take longer to recover, and often face complications from illnesses that younger individuals typically overcome quickly. However, it's important to note that immune aging isn't uniform. Some people in their 70s maintain robust immune function, while others start experiencing immune challenges as early as their 60s. One of the clearest signs that your body may be aging faster than expected is how often you get sick, how long illnesses last, and how severe they become. Take Susan, for example, a healthy 71-year-old woman who, over the past year, experienced multiple urinary tract infections, a persistent cough lasting weeks, and then shingles, something she never anticipated. Although she didn't feel constantly unwell, her body was clearly more vulnerable. After thorough medical testing, Susan discovered her vitamin D levels were low, her white blood cells weren't functioning optimally, and inflammatory markers were elevated. Through nutritional changes, immune supportive habits, and getting more rest, she was able to rebuild her defenses and regain confidence in her health. This example highlights that frequent infections aren't random. They're a sign your immune system needs attention. Unfortunately, many seniors dismiss recurring illnesses as just a normal part of aging, but in reality, they can often be prevented or managed with proper care. Another important indicator is prolonged recovery times. If a simple cold drags on for 3 weeks, or a stomach bug leaves you debilitated for days, it could mean your body's ability to repair and fight infection is slowing down. A weakened immune system doesn't just increase vulnerability to illness, it also hampers healing after surgery, reduces your ability to control inflammation, and can even impair the body's capacity to suppress cancer cell growth. That's why maintaining a strong immune system is critical, not only to extend your lifespan, but to enhance the quality of those years. The good news is that even later in life, you're not powerless. You can support your immune health by prioritizing quality sleep, managing stress, eating a diet rich in whole foods and antioxidants, and staying physically active. Vaccinations, routine blood tests, and addressing nutrient deficiencies, especially zinc and vitamin D, also play a vital role. If you're falling ill more often than people around you, don't ignore it. Treat it as a signal worth investigating and addressing. When your immune system speaks, it's your body's way of alerting you about your future well-being. If you're finding this information helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Your support allows us to keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now let's continue forward. Sign 5. Loss of interest in life or emotional withdrawal. As people age, some experience a subtle but significant shift that's often overlooked. It's not about physical pain or even memory problems, but rather a gradual pulling away from life itself. They may stop reaching out to friends, lose interest in hobbies they once loved, or pass the days quietly without curiosity, laughter, or meaningful conversation. This loss of enthusiasm for life is one of the strongest signals that something deeper is going on, not just mentally but physically as well. We often think of aging as a purely physical process, but changes in the mind often come first. When someone loses their sense of purpose, their drive to connect, or their emotional bonds with others, the body tends to decline alongside it. Research shows that social isolation and persistent low mood are linked to increased inflammation, faster cognitive decline, and even a higher risk of death. Consider James, an 80-year-old man who used to spend Thursdays playing cards with friends and Sunday mornings at his favorite coffee shop. Over time, he started declining invitations, citing fatigue or lack of interest. His daughter assumed he was just slowing down, but James was actually dealing with early depression, something many older adults face without recognizing it. With support, medication, and gentle encouragement to reconnect with his old routines, James gradually regained some of his former vitality. This example highlights that emotional withdrawal isn't just a personality change. It's a warning sign that critical systems in the brain and body may be weakening. Dopamine regulation, the nervous system, and sleep patterns are often affected. Another red flag is losing the excitement or anticipation for activities, relationships, or even everyday pleasures. When this happens, the risk of decline grows. Emotional flatness can lead to a domino effect: reduced appetite, less physical activity, social isolation, and even a compromised immune system. It's not about being happy all the time, but about staying emotionally connected to life. Whether through family, nature, art, faith, or community, maintaining that connection is just as vital to longevity as diet and exercise. If you or a loved one seems to be withdrawing emotionally, don't wait for it to improve on its own. Reach out, encourage interaction, movement, sunlight, and conversation. The brain thrives on stimulation and the feeling of belonging. The earlier you notice and address emotional withdrawal, the better the chance to reverse it. Because when someone stops caring about life, life often stops caring for them. That's a path none of us want to follow, especially when a little attention and support can bring back the spark and change everything. Sign 6, slow recovery from minor illness or injury. There was a time when you bounced back quickly from everyday ailments. A cold would pass in a few days, bruises faded rapidly, and small cuts healed without much notice. But now you find that a cold lingers for weeks, bruises stay sore longer, and even a minor scrape feels tender for days on end. It may seem like a small change, but it's actually a meaningful sign that shouldn't be ignored. As we age, it's natural for healing to slow down somewhat. However, when recovery takes noticeably longer than before, it suggests that your body's repair systems might be struggling. Your body could be running low on energy, nutrients, or resilience necessary to bounce back efficiently. Recovery time is one of the most overlooked indicators of overall health because it reflects how well your immune system, circulatory system, and cellular repair mechanisms are functioning together. Delayed healing is more than just a slow-closing wound. It reveals that these critical systems are not keeping up. When your body struggles to recover from minor injuries or illnesses, it also becomes harder to heal from bigger health events, such as surgery, infections, or even emotional stress. Take Evelyn, a 77-year-old woman who sprained her wrist stepping off a curb. Though the injury was minor, weeks later, she still had pain just holding a coffee mug. Her doctor noticed ongoing joint swelling and slow tissue repair. After evaluating her diet, they discovered she had protein deficiency, low collagen levels, and was not properly hydrated. With some dietary improvements and gentle physical therapy, Evelyn's healing sped up, and her overall strength improved. The lesson here is clear. If you notice your body taking longer to recover, it's time to dig deeper. Often, the reasons behind slow healing are straightforward: insufficient protein, poor sleep quality, low levels of vitamin C, D, or zinc, or chronic stress quietly draining your healing capacity. Inflammation also plays a significant role. Chronic low-grade inflammation makes it harder for your tissues to regenerate. Conditions like arthritis, high blood sugar, or chronic fatigue can all prolong recovery from even minor injuries or illnesses. Circulation is another key factor. Healthy blood flow delivers nutrients and oxygen essential for healing. Even slight circulation problems can extend your recovery time. That's why staying active, drinking plenty of water, and reducing excessive sodium intake can all help improve your body's ability to heal, even if those actions don't seem directly related. Healing is more than just patching up damage. It's a direct reflection of how vibrant and adaptable your body remains. Faster recovery means your body has the energy and capacity to handle additional stresses. Slower healing indicates your body is struggling to maintain balance, which can quietly reduce the number of strong, healthy years ahead, even if you still feel mobile and independent. Listen closely to your body. If it's signaling that recovery is taking longer than before, don't ignore it. Nourish and support yourself by addressing what might be missing. How you heal from small setbacks tells a much bigger story about how well you'll cope with larger challenges down the road. If you're finding this helpful, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you won't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's keep moving forward. Sign number 7, frequent feelings of emptiness or disconnection. It's possible to be surrounded by people and still feel profoundly alone. You might follow your daily routine, eat, sleep, watch TV, yet feel as though you're merely existing, not truly living. This strange, hollow feeling inside, unnoticed by others, can be deeply unsettling. If this resonates with you, please don't ignore it. That quiet emptiness may be one of the most significant signals that changes are needed in your life, not only physically but emotionally and spiritually as well. As we grow older, many of us lose the anchors that once gave our lives meaning, whether that's a career, a spouse, a close circle of friends, or a clear purpose that motivated us each morning. While losing these aspects is part of life's natural progression, remaining stuck in this disconnected state for too long can quietly harm not just your mental health, but your overall well-being and longevity. Modern science is starting to confirm what many wise elders have long known. Loneliness and emotional isolation can shorten life more than obesity, smoking, or even heart disease. However, the issue isn't simply about being physically around people. It's about feeling truly connected, useful, and seen. I remember George, an 81-year-old man living in a well-equipped retirement community filled with neighbors and weekly activities. Yet he confided in me, "I feel like I'm fading, not because my body's failing, but because no one needs me anymore." That feeling of being unnecessary is one of the most corrosive experiences someone can face in later life. When your role in the lives of others disappears, when you're no longer asked for advice, not sought out for help, or no longer considered a source of strength, it gradually chips away at your motivation to keep going. Without that willpower, everything slows down. Your metabolism, your immune system, even your desire to eat, move, or try new things. This sense of emptiness often brings with it a unique kind of exhaustion. Not the tiredness from a bad night's sleep, but a deeper, soulful weariness. When that happens, it's easy to retreat further, thinking you don't want to be a burden or doubting whether it's worth trying to connect at all. But ironically, this is exactly when connection is most vital. Not superficial small talk, but meaningful connection. Being heard, understood, and loved for who you are today, not just who you were in the past. So what can you do? Start by reflecting. When was the last time you felt truly alive inside? What made you feel useful, appreciated, or excited? It might have been a simple moment, teaching a neighbor's grandchild how to fish, baking a pie for someone recovering from surgery, or sharing a story that made someone laugh. These moments may seem small, but they're essential for survival and well-being. Consider also engaging in something greater than yourself, whether it's volunteering, mentoring, creating, writing, or sharing your experiences. Extending yourself outward expands the boundaries of your own life, and that feeling of contribution is one of the strongest shields against mental and emotional decline. Ultimately, it's not about how many people are physically nearby, but about how many lives you touch that truly matters. If you've been carrying around this quiet feeling of disconnection, don't dismiss it as just a phase. It's a message that deserves your attention because feeling empty today can quietly shape how many meaningful days you have ahead. You deserve more than just passing time. You deserve connection, purpose, and joy. Final thoughts. When we consider how many years remain ahead, we often focus on measurable factors. Numbers like blood pressure, cholesterol, or life expectancy charts. But the most meaningful signs are often subtler. They're found not in data, but in how you feel when you rise in the morning, how your eyes brighten during conversation, or how your body carries itself when no one is watching. The 7 signs we've discussed aren't fixed predictions. They're gentle invitations, cautionary signals, and reminders. No matter your age, you still have control over your future. You have choices to make and more strength than you might realize. Many people worry that time is slipping away too quickly. When that fear takes hold, it's easy to withdraw, to stop trying, stop caring, and lose hope. But there's still plenty ahead for you. Not just more years, but better ones. If any of these signs resonate with you, don't brush them off. Instead, let them be a wake-up call. Let them inspire you. Whether it means moving your body more, safeguarding your memory, or simply drinking more water, small changes can lead to big improvements. Your body hears you, your mind reacts, and your heart rediscovers hope. So here's a simple challenge. Choose just one of these signs and commit to addressing it. Give it your focus, your time, your care. You might be amazed at how much vitality and joy return when you make space for them in your life. Thanks for joining us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below sharing one key takeaway and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot to us and inspires us to keep creating valuable content. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows us to continue producing content that informs and motivates. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.